Oh boy. Ah, my system is freezing. Oh, what is going on? Even my timer is not counting. Welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elegwete TV radio, streaming live on the Elegwete TV Sports YouTube channel. My name is Adafi Matthew Esogana. You love to call me the Elegwete on the Sports. I love my name. I do love my name. EME. I do love my name. Yeah, wherever you are, whatever you do, this is the the live version, the on version of the show. So you guys are going to manage me. If you hear noises in the background, there are other guests in this hotel that I live in. So Chidejo 4. I like that name. I used to have a friend by that name. I just disappeared, no contact. Let's say somebody were Carlos. It's just like the guy just disappeared. I'm still wondering what happened. Age of 4 Marcus was his name. Yeah, whatever it is, whatever you do, wherever you are, let's get in on the conversation. You know how it is. Sports talk is always exciting to talk about sports. It's always exciting, to jump in on major sports topic. Coming off the back of games that were played yesterday. There were some beautiful games that we saw yesterday. I wasn't expecting Arsenal to win that game against Monaco so easily, but then that happened for me. That's the peak of the day for me. Man City, oh God, they used to say that when a snake lost his venom, children will start using it for waist belts, use it to tie firewood. That's actually what they say. That when a snake has lost his venom, they will use it to tie firewood, and that's exactly what has happened to Man City. They are just not the City we used to know. They just not, they don't move the ball the way they used to. Phil Foden, player of the season form last season, have disappeared. They are now what you call a caricature. People everywhere are throwing that at them. I have a principle or a rule in the way they play, in the trophies they won. And people want to rub it in that, you have 115 or 130 can charges. Listen, event rules. I don't need any inquiry to tell me. It's like saying there is a Nigerian politician in the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 1. It say, blessed is he that sits not in the council of the ungodly, no standeth in the way of sinner, or walketh in wanting the path of the scornful. Now, those three things are very key and fundamental in human existence. You know why? Because we are either sitting, standing, or walking. In all, we are either in the sitting position, the standing position, or we're in motion. And there is not one person that can convince me that in football there is a club that is very successful, but they are not corrupt. The thing is the size of your corruption. The thing is the audacity to do it. You know how people will say, go big or go home? Some people will say, you know what? If what is in need of doing it small when you can do it big? Okay. So I don't judge people, because in the game of football itself as an enterprise, okay. This book, if you can find sensed fraud, okay. I don't care what anybody say or do. Sports as an enterprise is a license to do it. Exponents that Pep Guardiola is, the fame, tactical genius, and mastermind have all gone to shred. The whole Ellen Haaland, who score 50 goals every season, have gone to shred. And Man City have also, in my opinion, earned the right. Yes, earned the right to go a season or two trophyless, and I'm not going to have a problem with it. It does not deserve. I believe that. I just think that the law of diminishing return. His loyalty to the boys that won him the Champions League have come back to bite him, but he still have the Midas touch. That's my belief. So when you look at Man City on the merit of this season, and I was watching Arsenal on my laptop, streaming it, and then watching on DSTV, and on my phone, I was following another. Good thing is, I'm in a hotel. I'm not at home where my children would come and jump on me and distract me. So I took time to watch. If you even follow me on Twitter, you notice that I was really watching games. Unlike when I'm at home, I hardly watch football matches. I hardly do. Like I don't push to go the extra mile to say I want to watch. But yesterday I saw a City team, and I was asking myself, you could just really coordinate play from midfield, forget all the talk of injuries and all that. They had possession, but there's something that's just not clicking, and that's why many times in my life, in making statements, I have said one thing that a lot of people used to argue against. Even Tony Beckett Roma used to argue that thing with me. I said talent is good, oh, skills, all those things are good, oh, but the most important asset that anybody needs in life to forge ahead, to go seeing people who have zero skills, zero talent, but they are stupidly confident. I'm one of them anyway. I've got a little skills, I got talent, but I'm trying to say measure me against, let's bring radio where some of you know me the most. Big idea, Idemode Alapa, you know, this guy's Dan Foster, the late Dan Foster. This guy's their voice is the voice of thunder. And I'm just there with my chipmunk voice or small pussycat meow, you know. But then I grew in that industry. I can beat my chest that of all the names that I mentioned in sports, I rose above them. This is not me being arrogant or being proud, but I mean, you can call it. I'm proud of what I've achieved in this space. It's because I have a relentless confidence. That confidence that make me not to always analyze things to paralysis. And it's that confidence that currently is missing from Manchester City. It's not like Manchester City, the squad, as people want to say, is decimated by injury. Arsenal is dealing with just as much worse injury problem, uh, if not more, than Man City. But guess what? There is a bit of they can do, or we want to do something. We want to achieve something special in the Arsenal team. But with City, it's more like, oh God, they find us out. You know how when somebody punches you in the gut, in the stomach, head, and they give you a punch on the side of your head, and somehow your leg that's happening to man question their performance, how you deal with this type of situation. They don't know how, and that's the thing that is killing Man City the most. Not necessarily the fact that they are not good enough, tactics, as people want to say Pep Guardiola is a fraud. Pep Guardiola has been found, and it's way more than that. It's just the fact that confidence have been drained, right? Confidence have been drained. I don't know if you've ever seen a hot air balloon, okay, or you've been on a hot air balloon. One of the things you will notice quickly with the hot air balloon is once there is a puncture, it loses control, it goes amok, and everything is in disarray. And that's exactly what I think Man City is going through. It's sad, watching them play against Juventus yesterday. For a Juventus side that has struggled to score goals, scoring two unreplied goals, it was sad. It was that place where you look at and you say, "Oh, how are the mighty falling?" But it's not in a mocking way. It's just the fact that at some point some of their players also got cocky. I remember when Arsenal went to Etihad last season or 2 seasons ago? 2 seasons ago, and they ended the game in a draw. And Arsenal was celebrating drawing because over the years, Arsenal have not won against the last six or pick up a point against the top six, sorry. And all of a sudden, remember that 2-2 draw with City after going one man down, and then what's his name? John Stones came off the bench to score. And what's the Norwegian tour? Ellen Ireland went to Arteta and say, humble yourself, be humble. I thought that that was a tad bit too rude for so many reasons. One, this is a coach that I've worked with Man City for years. Is the city that you're playing in, whether you like it or not, this guy contributed in building it up. If you look at Arteta, look at Jova now. He's gotten a mural of himself because he's contributed to this team. You can't say it's just all Arteta. And then Arteta have contributed to that city that you're playing in. And all of a sudden, you're telling him to be humble. To me, I felt it was too far, disrespectful, too arrogant. Now look at where they find themselves. They just can't grind and get result. They can't. They're a luxury vehicle that only functions when the roads are good, the roads are clear. They can't deal with Lagos traffic. They can't deal with hold up. They can't deal with potholes. They are just struggling. You say look at some games and you say to yourself, okay, so there are games that players win, and then there are games that coaches win. And you look at these games, some of these games that these players could have just won them. They are not playing like Super Eagles. Okay. You look at the players, you say, okay, there's talent, there's potential here, there's ability, but bring it to the party. Put it on the plate, let everybody eat off it. That's where the problem now lies. And it's sad. It's sad. And then yesterday, too, even though Barcelona are still dealing with some real financial issues, some real financial problems, and I'm wondering when those problems will be completely solved, those problems will be completely, eradicated from the club. But it seems like that problem is going to be there for a very long time. I think the electricity in this hotel is somehow they don't have proper because once I disconnect the charger from the computer, the freezing stops. If I plug it again, the freezing continues. But what I'm saying is, you look at Barcelona, the way they played, the kind of energy they bring to the party, the game that they played was fine. I feel for Pep Guardiola, I feel for City because, successful clubs like this, you want to see them succeed and sustain it. But it seems like in just 15 games into the season in all competition, they are not looking just exactly like Manchester United. They're looking a whole lot terrible, worse. And I don't know how to describe them. And it's really sad. Okay. But then again, this type of thing that's happening to City or Man United, the way Man United are collapsing, makes you appreciate what a team like FC Barcelona is dealing with all the mismanagement of fund, with all the financial abuses, improprieties, and them trying to figure out their way, selling their levers or leveraging on assets, selling them, and then still building a new stadium, and at the same time, uh, what's it called? Still having result on the field. It's incredible. Barcelona makes you looking at what other clubs are struggling. Look at AC Milan still struggling, and then you see what Barcelona have done within this space, even in their deepest, in their lowest of lows. They've gone to the academy, brought in players like Gavi, Pedri, Lamine Yamal. God, that boy is good. And see how they play, and being able to mix it up with a few signings here and there. I want to say that Barcelona are performing miracles that they don't get credit for. They don't really get appreciated for the work that they do. And a lot of people are talking about City. Obviously, they're playing in England where the media is very big and loud, and so there's focus on them. But I think that clubs like FC Barcelona deserve a lot of credit and all that. And Chelsea also, even though they're not playing the Champions League, I think that they don't get the credit that they deserve from going through the kind of storm that they went through, and look at where they are right now. They're not there yet. They're not completely out of the woods. There is still, some league problems that will be there, but I think they made some progress. Man United, on the other hand, seems to be. There was a book I read when I was in secondary school. 1 Week, One Trouble. Right. I don't know if some of you guys read that book. 1 Week, One Trouble was a book that I read. And when you look at Man United just typified that book. Okay. If we're 1 Week, One Trouble, it's just everything about Man United reminds you of failures, feelings, troubles, things that are not going well, why they should have been better. And you thought that Ineos coming in would have taken them to the next level. Right now, they've set things up. But I mean, I go back again to Bobby. I defer to Bobby here. I think that Bobby is a lot more right. People don't give him credit for the astuteness of his knowledge, not just because he lives in Bournemouth or easy Birmingham, Bournemouth or somewhere in England anyway. But it's just the fact that the brother takes time to study this club and the situation with the club, and he understands them. I remember at the beginning when everybody was saying, "Oh, Ineos is going to come in, Ineos is going to set this right." He reminded us of all of the businesses that Ineos have done in sports and how bad they've gone. So there is nothing special about Ineos coming. And I laughed at him as I don't give up. These guys might come in. Man United is a bigger project than Nice, bigger project than their cycling team, their swimming team. But I was wrong because it is party after party, mistake after mistake, mistake after mistake that they've had to do. The other day I saw on Daily Mail where they chronicle 12 cardinal mistakes that they have made. Okay. And I'm saying in such a short time, they've done well to cut down expense. Credit to them. But those people who were wishing, some of the staffs who were wishing that the Glazers go, uh, that's end of year package of 100 million that they normally get, that they are no longer getting. All of those staff that they've cut away over since they came in, they've let over 500 people go. Those people will look back now and say Glazer is better than Ineos. And it reminds me of Nigerian government, where one bad government will leave and you're hoping for a better one, the worst will come. That's how Man United is right now. But then let's talk about the World Cup. The World Cup, it's a secret that we all knew. It's not something that is hidden. It's not a surprise. If you're surprised that Saudi Arabia is going to host the 2034 World Cup, then I don't understand what planet you're living in. But it's been coming. The three World Cup, the Portugal, Spain, and Morocco World Cup will make Morocco the first African country to host a World Cup match. Okay, so that one is in 6 years' time, 2030, after the 2026 World Cup in the US, which we will not attend. Let's not deceive ourselves. If we go, maybe we want to do match fixing. We will not attend it. Let's not. I'm not raising anybody's hope. If we go, fine. Maybe we would have gone to bribe referees and do match fixing, but we will not attend. So my own is that Nigeria should start preparing the next generation of young players. Unfortunately, we don't even go to under 17 World Cup anymore. We don't even go to under 20 World Cup anymore. So the pool to create players, you might be shocked that Nigeria still might not qualify for the 2030 World Cup in Portugal, Spain, and Morocco. This thing that I'm saying now uh, is sounding uh it's sounding like, what do I call it? Like Edafe is just angry, he's just talking rubbish. Listen, Nigerian football thrives on the pool of players, pulling these players together. So 2026, let's take it for granted that we will not go to that World Cup. So from 2027, we will start the qualifiers for the 2030 World Cup. Where are the players? By 2027, Osimhen will no longer be needed in the national team. The anger of Nigerians that they did not go to the World Cup, unless I don't think we'll win the Nations Cup in Morocco next year. Just follow me in this progression. Then, if we don't win the World Cup in Morocco next year, another World Cup is supposed to hold in 20 Nations Cup, sorry, in Morocco next year. We don't win it. Another Nations Cup is supposed to hold in 2026. But maybe CAF will decide, okay, let's take it to 2027. Since 2026 is a World Cup year, let's take it to 2027 and give a breather, because you can't host a World Cup in Nations Cup. What's wrong with me in the World Cup? You can't host a Nations Cup in November, December 2025, and then 2026, January, February, you want to host another one. So you're going to give it a chance. So let's say biennial, okay, 2027. Follow me on this journey. 2027, we will not need to participate in another Nations Cup. So we will go to Morocco, we will not win it. Take it from me. We will not win that Nations Cup. We also will not qualify for the World Cup in 2026 in the US, Canada, and Mexico. Now look at how it's going to play out. The Nigerian media, the Nigerian fans will tear into the Super Eagles players. At that time, if they are performing well for their club, Nigerians will hate them. If they are failing in their club, Nigerians will hate them. Nigerians would go against them, because this next World Cup is not just a football thing. For some people, it's a massive opportunity to jackpot. They will talk about it. There's nothing to pretend about. Let's do media the way media is done. For so many people, it's an opportunity to jackpot. Okay. There are those who does not even need the opportunity to jackpot. People like me, it's a business opportunity. But if Nigeria is not qualifying, what reason is the American embassy or the Canadian embassy or the Mexican embassy, which is the place where I would have loved to go to if Nigeria qualify for the World Cup? All these go to US and Canada. Well, I've been to those places. I've also been to Mexico before twice, but I would love to go again in this, my coming of age, adult life. I do believe that there'll be a lot more content in Mexico. Forget Canada. Leave Canada unless you want to go the ask question about snow, right? So US, I mean, US is a big apple. There's always going to be entertainment. There's always going to be, you can go to the US for the World Cup and not even enter stadium, and you will produce content upon content upon content. I agree. But for somebody like me, who's a storyteller, going to Mexico would have been fine, would have been beautiful, because I would have, seize the opportunity to ask questions, bring back questions about Marquez, questions about Charito, Javier Hernandez is his name, and a lot of those Mexican greats. I have a list that I was already compiling, but I abandoned it when the Super Eagles started playing the way they were playing. I know, okay, this don't even break your head or your neck for this. That's why I've not called anybody. People like Timothy Demba, for don't the warrior. Okay, give me a list of all the players that have represented America. I represented Mexico at the World Cup or international football club, played club football in Europe. And those are where I'm going to build my content around. Because, to be very honest, everybody would do the same thing. Super Eagles camp, they're training today. I grew up loving the Super Eagles, but I don't think I love the Super Eagles anymore, especially the generation of players. These are the worst set of human beings that I have met in my entire life. And there are a lot of Nigerians that are terrible. But these Super Eagles players, shit. Okay. Just say they are Tottenham, right? So I'm looking at that and I'm saying to myself, so let me give you how I'm playing this thing out. Now, Nigeria by 2026, when we don't go to the World Cup, the anger, let me use the words of the Bible now, King James, the anger of the Lord will be kindled upon them. Okay, the anger of the fans will be kindled upon them. So this Osimhen that we all love, or this Lookman that snubs everybody, that is a super snubs, but people still love him because he's doing well. People will now start saying, for all of these performances that you're putting up, you're not even able to take us to the World Cup. You're not even able to win the Nations Cup. Who are you? Right? Those are the questions that now begin to bubble up. And then they'll be trolling them. And, these players are very weak. Before you know, they'll start crying of mental health and all that. Then the FA, whoever is in charge at the time, will not come up with Super Eagles have been disbanded. It's the normal road that we follow. Super Eagles have been disbanded. There is no proper funding, because when you're not winning, your sponsors will not come around. So there'll be no proper funding. We want to start again. We'll go to the non-existent drawing board. And then when we get to that drawing board, we'll say, okay, let's start with local coaches again. Oh God, this thing is playing in my head. And I'm sounding like an idiot now, but some of them will come back to this video. And then we'll start running around. And Nigerians will start saying, these born in their board players are not doing anything for us. The experiment with these players did not achieve anything. Let us move on from them and let us go back to the basis. Let's go and use local players. Somewhere along the line, the Chan Eagles might go to one of the Chan and go and win it. And then Nigerians are like, okay, when the desired is not available, the available becomes the desired, right? You start appreciating the things that you normally don't like. I said, let's use this team, let's promote them to the Super Eagles, let's use them, home-based players, foreign coach, this coach is not good, whether Nigeria, Badia, whoever fails to qualify for the World Cup that we have already failed before we're employing him, that's the person that will not be at the brunt of all of that failure. That's the expectation. But let's move away from Nigeria and let's talk about the host. Yes, US, Canada, and Mexico will host in 2026. 2030, another 3 countries will host. In Spain, the Amadas, okay? Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, all of them will host the World Cup. You know how beautiful that is. And unfortunately, Nigeria might miss out in 3 consecutive World Cup. Okay, we're going to go back to the football dark ages again, where we never used to qualify for the World Cup. Then the Saudi Arabia World Cup. Let me tell you this thing about the Saudi Arabia World Cup. The Saudi Arabia World Cup is like the Qatar World Cup, but now Saudi Arabia is going to correct correct it. Saudi Arabia is going to make it a business World Cup. This is this is the end of the world. This is after that World Cup, the trumpet will sound, the world will end, because Saudi Arabia will make it. They will become the connoisseur of sporting business, and that's where they will introduce their real estate. I mean, obviously, they will start from 2030, start inviting people to come and buy properties in the world the way Dubai did. So come and buy properties in the world, to come and invest in Saudi tech, to come and invest in Saudi real estate, to come and invest in all that. They'll give you incentive, a lot of massive incentive will start coming, and politicians who stole money, like we've had with the ones who steal money from Nigeria, who are going to put it. Go and look at articles. Real estate in Dubai, for instance, is more than the real estate of other people. I'm not saying he stole money before they will go and sue me now, but I'm just telling you that people who stole money from Africa will say, okay, you know what, I don't want to go to Europe, I don't want to go to America anymore. They'll give a lot of tax credit to people. Saudi Arabia will give a lot of discount, and make you come and invest your money in Saudi Arabia, so that they become as powerful as well as Russia, as China. America is losing his face, is losing his power, to be very, very honest. The war in Ukraine put America and Germany in more danger than any other country in the world, and even the UK. So right now, Russia have, been able to like seize the initiative to grow economically. China have seized the initiative to grow economically, and also grow exponentially, influentially, in terms of countries that they now have control over, power over, investment in. While the war in Ukraine was going on and American Congress was going about, and the American public were voting imbeciles after imbeciles after imbeciles in power as president, other countries were establishing their stronghold in places where they normally have. And then with Niger, Benin Republic, Burkina Faso, Mali, and the rest, kicking France out of their stronghold in the west coast of Africa. It's a changing dynamics, right? We're still talking football anyway, but it's a changing dynamics. And the funny thing is, Nigeria is not making a play. It's not making a play, both for the soft power in terms of sports, music, entertainment, culture, and the rest, and then real political power in our military might, in our economic might, in whatever we're supposed to be doing. We're not frolicking, for instance, with France, who offers you nothing. France have never given anybody anything except to cause damage and confusion. But hey, it is what it is. That's the world that we live in. Back to football. And I think it's the time for you to come on the comment section. I also share your thoughts on all matters. Arsenal battling injuries. I think at this point of the season, I know that Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka have been amazing, but I want to ask you, who's the Arsenal player that have impressed you the most this season? For me, it is Thomas Partey. I know that feeling. That I know the smile, the smirk, and the grin on your faces right now. This guy that is always against Thomas Partey is the same guy that is now saying, yes, Thomas Partey is the best Arsenal player. He's played in left fullback, defensive midfield, right fullback, sometimes slotting into center back, everywhere. And he's done it with aplomb. He's done it with beauty, with panache, with style and guile. So for that, I consider him Arsenal's best player this season. Manchester United, to be very fair and to be honest, I thought that Ruben Amorim would smoothen the cracks. I wasn't expecting him to paper over the crack, but I thought that he would smoothen the cracks and then start to heal it from the inside. But there's just something about Man United that, when one side is healing, they would bust one side again. Have you ever been in a boat that is leaking? I have been in a boat that is leaking, but then the leakage begin to get multiple outlets, right? So when you're trying to patch this place, trying to bail out water, you just notice another tiny hole. Water is coming from here, and you know, water is the strongest force of nature. People say it's fire. No, I say it's water. If fire burn your house, you can still reclaim your land. Your land is still there. You can still build on it. But listen, if the highest force of water comes, it would move your land, everything. You would no longer know where your land is. Ask you where your land. It would create erosion. If a tsunami comes, might wipe out the entire landscape, the entire area does not exist anymore. But if fire, I mean, they say the elements, earth, wind, and fire, right? But what they didn't put is water. Oh God, oh God, oh God. That one is worse. Fire is instant destruction, is aggressive. Yes, I agree. It consumes. But you see that thing called water? Hey, calamari. So it's that kind of place that Man United are in right now. They are a sinking ship. And you know what? What makes it sad for somebody like Ruben Amorim, who's the innocent bystander that is now going to be, receiving all the bullets, is the fact that you just come in 3 games or 4 games in, the football director that they spent so much energy, time, resources to sign up, even pay Newcastle money, transfer fee for him to be in the team. 5 months into the job, he's gone. Like, it does not, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. And then you are going to go look for someone else again. What's the guarantee that that person will not be fired? What's the guarantee that that person is not moving into a sex pool that cannot be dealt with? I mean, Man United does look like Puff Daddy right now. Man United is like Puff Daddy, so you can practically call Man United Puff Daddy FC, and it's okay. Okay, the devil in the detail. Man United are the devil in the details. They just neither here nor there. We know that City are having a problem, but when you look at Man United, you be like, when Jesus said to the disciple that this one, except by fasting and prayer, you cannot just lay your hand and cast out this type of demons. You have to fast and pray. That's Man United's problem right now. They are, Jesus Christ, they are, the problem is hydra-headed, multi-dimensional management, financial, players, the ancestors, the ex-players of the team or the class of 92, then the different coaches that comes in with different culture, different style, different mentality, different element. Jesus Christ. Man United, or PDDFC, as is the new name that I want to call them, is just crazy. Even if you give them Johnson and Johnson baby oil right now, you will not be able to lubricate the problem. You'll not be able to penetrate the problem. The problem is so thick, is stronger than the iodine. Okay, even if Russia send ICBM to Man United, they cannot penetrate it because the hymen is stronger than the iron dome. That's in the problem. The problem have come to stay. Okay, so there's a devil that is passing by and just hit you and you fall down. Collateral damage. It's not coming for you. Is good. But this devil has sat down, like he's not owning Man United. There's nothing they do. If they like sacrifice all your firstborns for Man United, something bad will still happen. If you like, provide all the versions that you have in your community for Man United, something bad will still happen. If you like, go and cut Mami Water breasts and come and do sacrifice. Nah, the Red Devils, this devil is on fire, is on flakes, is red and is raging. The devil comes to steal and to destroy. This one, the devil is not just coming, the devil is not there. That's where he operates from. This one is there is London has fallen, there is Olympus has fallen, there is Angel has fallen. Another one, there's Paris has fallen. That one is a series. There's a new one, the Has Fallen series. There's another new one coming next year. But you see this one, devil have sat. I mean, Man United problem, and it's crazy to deal with anyway. But then shout out to Barcelona and their fans for the kind of football that they still managed to give us against the odds. Okay, and which other major talking point came off yesterday's football performance? I mean, I think I need you guys to put some of the talking points in the comment section so that we can have it. For Man City, somebody asked me a message, what can Man City do to fix the problem? I think that Man City should just, what I would do if I'm Man City, I'm not going to go in January and go and buy anybody. Yes, if I'm in charge of Man City right now, I'm not going to move in January and go and buy anybody. You know why? I'm going to wait for the decision in March, okay, of the FA on the 115 count charges. If it is, I mean, Juventus one time were relegated, they find their way back, right? I will start negotiating with the current players and say, who will go down with us if we go down? And then who will not? If you know those that will not, start making a way to ship them out in January or wait for next summer. And if the decisions are made, if it is championship, we will not contest it. But I think that going down to the championship will not be enough. They might strip them of their titles, and that's where they will not go to appeal. They will not fight it and do everything that they can. But It depends on how the judgment is worded, how it's pronounced. If there's technicalities to make you fight it, they'll fight it. If they cannot, then you see how it goes. But then if they are if they are obviously going to go down, the concept of signing players, I don't think it makes sense for me. Okay. I don't think it makes sense, but hey, it is what it is. Well, once again, to those people who are just joining, compliment of the season. It's December. I'm not in the studio in Lagos. I'm in Abuja. Hopefully I'll be going back tomorrow. I'm tired. This trip is pretty too expensive. I run out of cash. I don't get money again. I know, like, plan to stay 10 days before, but I cannot. I cannot. Everything here is too expensive. If I stay past 2 more days now, when I go here, say popular football analyst, I've been employed as a toilet cleaner in one hotel in Abuja because he cannot pay his bills. All right. So before I begin call people for help, before I begin post for Facebook, make gonna help me. I begin think of how to run, go back to my house. At least for my house, I get my own place to sleep. Why I not go pay for? You don't know the value of having your own house until you have to be paying for hotels and all this so stress that comes with it. But anyhow, a plate of food, 15, 18, 20,000. What's happen now? And you know the anointing, they'll come bring one small pando, they'll come bring like 40 meats inside. And they shop that kind of meat on my house. I don't understand why they feel say hotels always feel like saying that's what they're going to do. Say, give me rice and goat meat. They'll go pack plenty goat meat, come, give small rice so that you go order for more rice. And that's small rice. So small rice like this, so 3,500 for only that rice. If you ask for extra, another 3,500 too. And they go back, I beg. I don't try. If this so effort I put no put the project through, and let it be like that. I'll find another way. I'll put the same effort in growing my channel. And that one is more important. Well, to you guys out there, tomorrow expecting Pigeon English, it's not gonna happen. My flight, available flight. I never buy the ticket, but I'm hopeful that I'll buy the ticket before the day runs out. And if I don't, I go by afternoon. So I'm not gonna see if we do show. So we shall see where that one goes. Having said that, let me come to you guys now. Let's see what comment you have. All those of you that like to come and just greet, please don't greet. Bring up topic, ask question, let's have a conversation. That's what a live stream is about. The community is also an important part of the show. It's not just the guy who's talking on the mic. Ask question, raise question, bring observation. Let's have fun. That's why it's both of us together. It's not just me. Every day I crack my head thinking, okay, what are we going to discuss tomorrow? What's going to make it exciting? You people should also help me out, okay? Join hands together and make it work, okay? Make we join hands to make Nigeria better. Is that not how they did that song? Okay, so please be the people that help make it work for me. That's all I'm asking for. Having said that, let me go to the comment section and try as much as possible to pull in enough of your comment. Yeah, starting up from the top, Chidi Ejiofor reminds me of my friend Marcus Ejiofor. You see, I've plugged this charger now and it's hanging again. Okay, so it's the circuit. Okay, they're not at this place well. That's why something is leaking. There's a electrical leakage and it's discharging. But having said that, they are gonna be the hard way. Well done, no, very dark man. This is just the beginning of City's meltdown. God so believe says Man City might struggle to so much this season ahead. The struggle continues. Timothy then, but it says South Africa D 2010 boss. Jablan, okay, yes, okay, yeah. So Morocco is not the first. Sorry, my bad. I don't forget. The line I just says Man City seem interested. I mean, look at the Lakadasica. Maybe seem not interested is what you wanted to write. Lakadasica where Walker was looking before Juve did the cross to Vlahovic. Yes, what happened? The ball went out. You see, Walker was trying to run, then he stopped, and he was just ball watching. The Walker that if you see Arsenal now, after all of the Bogu can rise, they can't drink buratashi, their pre go stand like a horse. Oh God, it was annoying, Sha. You know, did the cross to Vlahovic. Mental fatigue, I guess all of them, including Pep, should take the blame. Well, I mean, I wouldn't argue against that. Because we're seeing that every day now, and it's looking like they are all setting themselves up for failure, right? They are now becoming specialists in failure. Well, it's hard. I can't throw them. I mean, I can't throw them. Simon Campbell, how are you? This Man City are mentally fatigued. The mental fatigue started when they won the treble, but it took time to manifest. Before now, overachievement has a way of causing diminishing returns. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Henry Morris say, "Na party o, that guy has been amazing this season. He managed to be fit." Yeah, that's a funny thing. In a season where almost everybody in this team is getting injured and going out, and a party that is normally like the doctor, the lab rat of the club, you know, uh, has not managed to find fitness beyond my expectation, which is nice anyway. I'm happy. I consider him my best Arsenal player so far this season. And fans of Bukayo Saka will say I don't like Bukayo Saka. And then other guy fans will say, am I blind? I'm just talking about circumstances, okay? The circumstances that we find ourselves. One player, his age, his injury history, the way he's managed to, keep himself fit and stay available and helping, scoring goals, creating goals, secondary assists, as some of you guys want the Timothy there, but their generation want me to start using that as part of my analysis, even though I never knew what that meant before. Well, hey, you learn. After all, I've learned how to snap picture like Joy Ojabilu, my special daughter. So I'm learning from all of these guys, making up like say I'm stuck in my ways, but I don't even understand what secondary assist is. What a tertiary assist? The assist before the secondary assist. Damn, who does analysis like that? It sounds very odd, though, to be very honest. Coming from where I'm coming from, it sounds pretty odd that there is something called secondary assist. But hey, let's just move on with it and play with the generation. They say you adapt, yeah, to eras and seasons and times. Okay. Chiri Ejiofor say, with the way Louis Skelly played yesterday, do you think Arteta should consider playing him continuously and use Timber on the right so that Party can be of more use to the team playing midfield? Like, that's what you see this thing you just typed now. It's what I said. So when Skelly started in the Elevated TV family group, I just wrote, Arteta is about to lose this game now, because I felt like the pressure was going to be too much. It's a night of too much pressure. This is not the type of game you go and throw in that kind of key. But then I was wrong. I hold my hands up. I was completely wrong because he played well. And he had a secondary assist in the first goal. Yeah, he was the one that threaded the ball to Gabriel Jesus. My problem with this, like, even though that's what I said when I saw him play, the thing is, when you play in Europe football, they don't press as much as press in the Premier League. So if you notice in European competition, in the Champions League, there are not too many goals that is a product of defensive errors, like in terms of they press you, you now lose the ball, you now pass to the position and they score. Most time it is a well-crafted play, or it is a loss of concentration in marking and positioning that causes it. But in the Premier League, they are wired to run like people who are on drugs. So I don't know how he will play against the Premier League oppositions, especially, the way the games are set up. So I agree we should take a risk, because no venture, no success. If you don't buy the lottery ticket, you don't win it. We should take a risk and try and see if he can settle in well. Because again, more games means more experience. More experience means more confidence. More confidence means progress in his career. And for a team that really, really would make do with providing a pathway of growth for some of the young players in the team, knowing fully well that for a very long time now we've had very deadwood kind of young players coming through the academy, people like Midland Nice, people like Reese Nelson, Emily Rose Smith, who was good for some time and then just faded off. But then I can understand injuries upon injuries, the groin injury, the shoulder injury, the hamstring injuries, the knee and ankle injuries. All of those are series of injuries that, added to like really kill his confidence. And then, like I said on top of the show, once your injury, your confidence is down, my brother, forget it. Even to talk for microphone like this, there's a way your confidence will be down. Okay, I've done shows with people before. First two callers called in and insulted the guy. for how he was talking. I don't want to mention his name now, and he killed him for the whole of that day. He couldn't. There's a guy we used to have. It's called Ike Double Double. Fantastic guy. He does movies now. One of the best guys when it comes to voices as well. But I think that Ike Double Double's problem when he was with us in Brilla was the fact that he didn't have confidence. He was too respectful. And I used to tell him, I said, you see, the thing that will kill you is this your Ogamisa, blah, 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 blah. He wasn't doing it for eye service. It's not an eye service kind of guy, but he was too respectful. And if you look at life, people who have too much respect, and you guys will laugh at me in this, is there anything like too much respect? Yes, there's too much respect. Too much respect make you lose yourself. When you lose yourself, you start beginning to move to the doctrine. That's why religion is able to manipulate people, because people believe that they have to respect their pastor. Do you know what it means for you to go from your biological father and be calling once? The funny thing, somebody that you are older than, you be calling the person daddy or my papa. And you see that thing, that's the worst thing that you can ever do to yourself. And I'm just using that because it's the easy one to explain this thing. So when you're too respectful, the first thing you're losing is your confidence. Yeah, you will respect people. People should have this idea of you that is Orobogo say Kabbalic acid. Like, people should have this idea of you that is dangerous. That's why if you look at the analogy of God all through the Bible, as much as he is described as a loving, caring father, as a God that cares, but there is always every intermittent chipping him of is a consuming fire. Is a lightning thunder. Is a lion. Even though they say it's a sheep, is a dove, is depicted in all of those things. But don't make any mistake about it. His mighty hands are described as the hand that slayed the Egyptian firstborn. His mighty hand is described as the hand that brought flood during the Noah time, even though I don't believe him. So you should have that identity where people know that, well, this guy is dangerous. And it's better that way than to just be a nice guy. It doesn't, the world is not designed like that. So you will fail because you're trying to function in a world that is designed for you to be, because they say you are wonderfully and fearfully made. You understand? So I think that's what also affected him. And I think that's the thing with Emily Smith. I think he didn't have the fire, the danger, the confidence, and then it whittled. And he also affected people like Alex Iwobi in the Arsenal team. He was younger anyway, but in the Arsenal team of the time. If you go back to Fabregas, one of the things that made Fabregas thick was the fact that he was a rude human being. He was rude the way he played. Name these guys: Nazari, Fabregas, even the Nielsen, Alexander Song, Robbie Van Persie. Were Dutch people are always rude anyway. Robbie Van Persie. You see all those boys? They were rude, very, very rude, and he made them stand with their head above their shoulders. They don't tuck in their head down, bow their head down, and tuck in their tails between their legs. And it's one of those things that when you look at certain players in the Arsenal team, you kind of like say, I wish I have a player who is rude like that, who doesn't give a fuck about what other people think, who can look you in the face and go. That's why I love Dennis Beckham, and my all-time favorite Premier League player is Eric Cantona, because damn, if I ever wanted to be like a player, that's the guy that I want to be like. That's the guy that after Ronaldo da Lima, that's my guy. That's also the reason why when people talk down Cristiano Ronaldo, I always laugh. Like, if you want to go to the top, if you want to be at the top, you've got to be like that. Muhammad Ali, now people appreciate him, but back then people used to mock him like he's too arrogant, he's too full of himself, he's too pompous, he's overconfident. Yeah, say whatever you want to say, but that's what the ingredients you need to survive in the world that we live in. Let's come back to your comment section. Digital Avma say PDDFC. Yes, Nama United with that. Digital Avma says it's called Red Devil. Them say devil give and he takes. Okay, more than he gives. Not true. If you give you cap, he take your head. So if you give you shoe, you take your leg. That's so my mom used to say that time. Don't take anything from the devil. You know what? But you know my mom used to say that, and I'd be like, where the devil do I want to say? Because I really want to take something. I used to go to. You know why I used to go to water? Okay, so if you didn't grow up in Delta, so you will not understand this thing. Igbe people are the best church ever to attend. To me, in a church with that. Igbe people are the best ever. If I want to go do any church again, I Igbe I go, or I'll go Sele. I won't go church. Either I'll go Igbe or I'll go Sele. You know, back in the day, they used to talk say if Mami Water come, if he give you 10 kobo or Otoro or penny, you'll be rich. But he go to come meet you for night. In all of the pictures, like that was so nice. That's something that I like. What's a big deal? Because all the Mami Water, all the picture of Mami Water, they very fine. A fish leg you get, so you can change to human being. Why not? That's what I want now. Let me have that kind of baby in the night and have my normal regular baby in the daytime, no problem. So when the people they go through with Fanta, Go Sports, Fanta Ginger, all those things, and goats for water. With all the water now, we wait to cash them, kill them, shop them, roast and shop. I was the chief of that year. But unfortunately, I never see my mother. Till today, my mother never come. They say my mother. I used to go eat Igbe food. All those Igbe food I put beans owo, esha, put there with better fish or legal fish, eba fish. Not all this momo ice fish one at the shop or saying cod liver oil. They talk about better fish. Mama quick, Mama Didi go put her there. I don't carry, I don't go shop, make better eba. That year, I see the shop eba. I make better eba, shop and the sweat. Not the sweat when you go, the sweat inside your hair go. They swear that I shop the whole wear, the Isha. And some of you don't know what Isha is. Beans. Don't have this kind of agoyawa beans. So I talk of small, you guys don't know it. No, I don't need to translate. It's Isha. That's what it's called. It's the highest. Any robot person will know what they talk. But not before every robot person share, but some robot persons will know Isha. Ogo, that's not like the advanced, the PhD level of Ogo soup. So Ogo soup is like master's degree, right? Master's MBA. Or doctorate. But Asia, they cook and wear. If somebody's a big cook and wear, like 3 days take to cook the beans. They cook and wear for you shop. Palakas. I want to be PhD, Professor Emeritus of food. How about this ones? Any other food is a counterfeit. Well, let's go on. The man say devil have sat. Another says Man City, don't be like Tottenham. I be Rottenham. Pep can be like Ogboriko. Chai, what a time to be a City fan. This season, don't pass us now to regroup for next season. Only one season now, and they complain. Arsenal have been there for 21 years. We don't even know what they do. They talk. I beg you. When I said that, when I do tomorrow, they go relegate and I go Division 4 now. Now I go clear. And all these Man City fan, when they relegate to now, please stay with the club. Be loyal to your club. No, I don't want to hear you people running say you don't support us now. Stay your club. Because some of them are come become a Chelsea fan, Arsenal, stay where you did. Because most of City fans, the former Arsenal fans, where they say we're no good, they run follow them. I mean, Nazra, Adebayo, and the rest of them, stay there, okay? Because now you people are going down right now, okay? Having said that, the Larry say no Arsenal player has impressed me so far this season. I expected more. Partey will have a shout, considering he was supposed to have been out before the start of the season. I think that Bukayo Saka have impressed me. Other guys have really come in and straightened the team up. Gabriel Magalhaes also have impressed me. I don't think Raya have done as good as he did last season. I think that the form of William Saliba deep somewhere, but is beginning to come back. His speed reduced. There's something that I don't know. Declan Rice have not really lived up. Merino have not fitted in the way he should. Trossard, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's overrating himself. Well, it's typical with Belgian people, so I'm not surprised that he's doing that. I'm impressed with Gabriel Martinelli. He doesn't get the supply that he deserves. I'm a white player. I know what makes me play well, and I know what makes me not play well. So I can understand, but it's hard to explain to a lot of people who think that Gabriel is a liability, Martinelli is a liability, but I think he's done well. But for me, my top player for Arsenal this season would have to be Thomas Partey. He's done well. And I think that Kivio have also come in and done way better than I expected. So not like he's on Gabriel Magalhaes' level, but he's done way better than I expected. So I give him credit as well. I'm not going to be too hard on them, especially when a team is dealing with injuries and players are not consistent every week. You kind of like take it easy on them. Deji Abiona, same go bros, Rendo. Tosilima, they say Man City Wolves continues. Sure, Man City fans would be happy. Man U fans would be happy. Sorry, why would they be happy when their own Wolves pass Wolves? Their own a devil takeover. Okay, Adija Love says the number 10 of Juve is a world beater. What do you think of him? So there is a whole lot of side conversation around that. That's question. The way you work is making me careful and picky with my words. And the reason being that, how do I explain it? Man City are a team in crisis, right? They are a team that are struggling in all sense of the word. So when you play well against the Man City currently, and get me right, I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm not saying, oh, he's not a good player. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm not relating that to how he's played in previous games that I have seen, how he's played in the few games in the Italian Serie A that I've seen. Is he a good player? Yes. Above average? Yes. Word beater? It's not that kind of word that when you want to answer to it, you're asking yourself, because word beater is another word for a world class player. It's how do I put it now? Uh, uh Copa Minor, be what they call him. Uh, uh, no, Yildiz, I'll be what to be named. Yeah, he's had a few games. What I like about him, I mean, he's a Turkish player. He's had this thing about him where he can play very well in tight spaces. He can twist, he can turn. But I think that yesterday's game, my best player for the game yesterday was Lucatoli. And Lucatelli was just the guy who first off made it impossible for the rest of the Man City team to play well, right? But it doesn't mean that Yildiz is bad. But Yildiz is like Paulo Dybala. Okay, it's like Paulo Dybala. He's got good games, got his best days and his not so best days. But what beater? It's in the process. It's in the process. I won't rate him above Lamine Yamal. I won't rate him above Jamal Musiala. I won't rate him above some of his age mates and people in that category. So I'll put him above average. But what beater? Um, I go hold my breath a little bit on that one. Deja Biona say it's been a while. Please, what do you think about the current Arsenal defense injury situation? It be like curse. It's not a curse. It's the fact that sometimes these things happen and you have to deal with it. And then there are times where you will play an entire season without a single injury. So look at Liverpool right now. They're playing no injuries. Everything is fine. Tomorrow they might just go through a cycle of injuries. It's a human body now. It's like your car. You drive your car every day, buy fuel, change service it every 3 months, every 90 days. But then there's a time when the car will just break down. It's going to be fault after fault after fault. Chocoserva today, steering rack tomorrow. When you do that one again, AC is not having problem. Once you're done with that one, his pocket is bearing. And when you finish that one again, you just think you are fine. You drive for 2 days, your stabilizer linkage is coming off. That's exactly how the human body also is. It's a machine. And sometimes when you use it to a point, it starts, breaking down in parts and in bits. So that's exactly what's happening to the Arsenal defense. Last season, they were very consistent. They were playing regularly together. This season, you're not seeing how it works. So it's one of those things that you don't want to happen, but it's going to happen. Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. Simon Campbell, say, please, who will you say is better between Mikel Obi and Chukwu? Shut up. Come on. There's no conversation there. There's no conversation. There is no there is not a day where there is a contest. Nigeria have not produced a player in the rank and file of Sunday Olise. Olise, and this is not because he's my favorite Nigerian player, he's my all-time best. No. Take that away from the conversation. Sunday Olise is just Jesus Christ. You will not rate Mikel Obi, even though I will rate Mikel Obi over Okocha, but there are some people who argue it. But Sunday Olise beats Okocha, beats anybody that's played in that midfield. Maybe people will bring the Eriwosu generation, the Mudalawal, but Sunday Olise is the most complete midfielder that we've ever had in our team. That the most complete midfielder that we've had. Sunday Olise rank in the level of the Andre Pellos of this world and the rest of them. So let's leave Mikel out of the conversation. Mikel is regarded great after he retired, not when he was playing. Between you and me, unless we have forgotten, we used to call Mikel Obi Chief Justice because he sits on the bench a lot. And I know that, okay, statistics will come and tell you that he played over 300 games, almost 400 games for Chelsea. Yes, he did. But listen, he was more on the bench than a super regular. Yes, another argument will come. He played under every type of coaches. Do you rate Garbalawa? Did Garbalawa not play under every type of coaches for the Super Eagles of Nigeria? My point is, we shouldn't even have a conversation on Mikel Obi and Sondoli said. It's a travesty. It's a very, very high level of disrespect. It's like when they said Ansu Fati is the next Lionel Messi. That's how wrong. I mean, my Yoruba brothers will say, "Oh, wrong now, oh, wrong." That's not a conversation to even have. There is no space for that conversation. We should be talking Mikel Obi and Wilfred Ndidi. No, not Sondoli said. No, don't please. That's the holy grail. It's the Michael Jordan. Okay, Michael Jordan is Black Jesus, right? Sondoli saying football for Nigeria is the Black Jesus of the team. Let's not even have that conversation because it becomes very, very annoying and it gets me pissed off. Mikel Obi is good, though. As a football player, is good. I'm not going to come here, it's a poor, terrible analyst. He said it's a very foolish human being. But football, I can't even fault his football. He's a good football player. But it's like saying Odegaard is good now. You know, say Odegaard and Fabregas, who's better? Which kind question be that? Where that one start? Or Declan Rice is playing when I say Declan Rice and Steven Gerrard, who's better? That's not a conversation. Now. You and I know that that's not a conversation. We shouldn't even be having it. Olushaye Adebowale says Man City need the January transfer window badly. The team needs a shake-up. They don't need it. I don't think they need it. They should go through this. Most times when you are purging, when you're stooling, you go take Imodium, tetracycline, Flagyl. But there are times when your body really need to detox and you've not been doing detox. Your body will be forced to activate its own exfoliation and detox. Those are the kind of days where you sit at home and say, you know what? I'm calling in sick. I'm not working today. It's me and my toilet. Okay. Back in the day, if you grew up in Assemblies of God, there's a song, I have a wonderful treasure, the gift of God without measure. We travel together. My Bible. And that is, you replace the Bible with toilet. It's you and your toilet. Be downloading, just be drinking water and be downloading until from sun up to sundown. And then you can chop dry gari, chop bread, and block the leakage, and then move on again. Okay, so that's the way I think Man City will do, because there are too many things in this Man City team now. They're signing players and bringing them on. Did you guys see that goal by Julian Alvarez? I mean, Man City will be like, oh, why did we sell him? Even though he's our record sales, but we are missing that kind of player right now who can shoot from anywhere, who can wire it. I did love say Athletic Madrid is up to something. They are slowly slipping in to the number one in La Liga and Champions League. Dejabiana say party the pursue new contract. Please, they should not give him. Please, I beg you, in the name of God, don't give him. Rebecca Williams say Man City is doing promo right now. We get woman for this to see woman for this show. It'll be like magical. I agree with you. They are actually doing promo right now, and it's sad. Okay, but like somebody commented earlier on, it's them, getting to that point where success have hit its top level, so they are pivoting. A lot of diminishing return is setting in. It's not sweet to see, it's not beautiful to the eyes, but then it's good for the competition. It's good for anybody to take over, and it does look like Liverpool are looking to take advantage here. Because if you look at the teams that have suffered the most because of Man City's success, it is actually Liverpool. People think it's Arsenal. Arsenal are new kids on the block in this race. Liverpool lost only one game in an entire season and did not win the title. Hey, in a season where they won the Champions League, lost 3 games, also, but they still won the Champions League, but they lost only one game in the league because of Man City. So if they I want Arsenal to win the title, but if Liverpool wins it, I will not begrudge them. Olafat says, good morning, boss. Arteta not rushing party last season is what's making him stay fit, and nobody can tell me Kala and Gabriel injury aren't serious, but he wants them to rest. It might be. He might be right there. I don't think it's just a serious injury, but hey, it is what it is. And still have say Lamine Yamal is ahead of his time. You see that Paddy for the third goal, the way he does these passes, game after game, creating assists. That boy good. Oh, that boy was playing in the Premier League, and if he was an English player, everybody be shouting Ballon d'Or, world class. That boy good. So I enjoy watching him play. I don't know if I enjoy Bukayo Saka watching Bukayo Saka play, but I enjoy the fluidity, the guile, the ease of movement, the way he positions himself, and then that coy shyness, baby face, in his face when he look, you just like this is a kid, but the way he plays with heart and gusto and mind, Jesus Christ, that boy is good. Boy is good. I could release an album talking about him. Yeah. Where did I stop? Oh, okay. Oluwaseyi Adebowale says, do you think Man City are still in the title race? No, I don't. Simon Campbell says, don't blame Man United fans like me. We are so used to winning trophies for how long? In the past, that any slight loss will look like there is a problem. All thanks to Sir Alex Ferguson's uh, Alex Ferguson, mediocrity can be allowed. Well, you better get used to losing. You better get used to losing because there's a whole lot more losing that is coming. And if we want to talk about Sir Alex Ferguson, there's so much fraud in those titles that you got used to. That if we look back to, we're talking of Man City's 115 can charges, Man United's charges will be like 1,000 plus. Oh. But let's just move on. Let's just pretend like we don't want to talk about that today. The lie I just say, meanwhile, that Skelly guy did well. He did excellently well, fantastically well. But please, Mona, calm down because very soon I'll soon put her for what class. So now so that they put English players for class where they not belong. He said, I said Skelly is a creator and dictator, while Owaneri is a scorer and dribbler. Let's wait until Skelly start playing at the right wing where Saka is playing. People will see football. Okay. I've got nothing to say here. Let's just keep quiet. Let's keep the watch and see. Oluwaseyi Adebowale says the EPL top four looks to be set already. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and City. You think City will make it? I don't know. At the way they're playing, everybody will have a bite of them. It's like a injured a giant inside a shark-infested water, and they're taking a bite of them regularly. They will still lose more games. I don't think that the top four is guaranteed for Man City anymore. It's only the position left to be determined. I don't think other teams like Villa, Spurs, United can get in. Well, let's see. Villa might surprise you. Spurs for sure. I know they cannot. They are useless. Chooks Adigwe says Martinelli was busy looking for red card last night. Arteta and Arsenal were lucky to still have him on the pitch at the end of the first half. I was surprised to see him starting the second half. Unfortunately, we needed him there. He brings a type of wit that Arsenal doesn't have. So the people who are always complaining about him, I don't know why you guys do, but I think he's the kind of player that I still want to have in my team. Simon Campbell say, can you imagine a doctor who was in charge of Arsenal for 14 years is the head medical department at Man United? No wonder Man United are players injured for long period. Total reset. First off, let's stop this thing. You see, this thing you just said now, in your mind's eye, you sound very, very informed. The ignorance not as easy, it's not as quite easily done. So sports medicine, because of the rigorous training, a doctor does not have as much input in training as you think. Okay, they can give advice, but their advice will be ignored. So because of the rigorous training, players get injured more. Again, everybody biomechanics are not the same. The way you move, do you know that in sports, the seat you sit sometimes can make you injure? The car you drive, the type of car you drive can make you injure. The way you position yourself while driving can make you injure. The way you sleep can make you injure. So all of those things matters, and those are things that are out of the doctor's hand. Again, the food you eat, your adherence to the strict regime of rest can also make you injure. So all of this is, look at Grealish. You already know that someone like Grealish, for instance, have a very terrible lifestyle. All right. And as much as people want to make me believe that he's a great player, which I don't, I think he's an average player, but his bad lifestyle is the reason why he gets injured a lot. And now somebody will be somewhere blaming the doctors. It's not the doctors. It's not Arsenal doctors that are at Man City right now. It's not Arsenal former doctors that were at Man United when they were also having injuries. The thing is, a doctor is a doctor. He's good at what he does. But then the players also hold the responsibility of adhering to strict health, fitness, and nutrition regime, which 90% of us don't. Okay, you know how many of you who say, I will go to the gym this year, you know, fit go. I'll be jogging 30 minutes every day, you know, fit. I will walk 45 minutes every day, you know, fit. So it's the same thing with footballers. It's not the doctor. The doctor are there to fix the mess that they have caused themselves, or, you know, that the game have caused them. So I don't want to blame doctors for that one. The champion say, I'm surprised you didn't mention Nketiah among part of the Deadwood Academy graduate. That one, I don't need to mention. If you follow this show, you know that my position of Nketiah have been like that for a very long time. So I don't want to repeat myself. It's like coming here to talk about what's it called? Nicolas Sanogo Pepe as the worst player that Arsenal signed. We already have all agreed on that. So I'm not going to be killing myself again. But I want to say what we call respect in Nigeria and fear, low self-esteem and timidity, 100%. But when I say people say that you're too arrogant, I say no. This thing that we do here, that we're calling respect, that we're calling loyalty, is the worst thing that's ever happened to us. And you know the funny thing, to amputate your mind is the worst thing that can happen to you, when you amputate your mind. And that's what most of us have done. It makes us not so okay. My daughter in school, the teacher pronounced something and my daughter said, that's not how to pronounce it. Your pronunciation is flawed. And the guy got angry and he said, she's not cultured. In Africa, you don't correct elders. In school, I pay 1 point something million. My daughter came and told me, I said, don't worry, tomorrow we're going to school. Don't worry. Don't worry yourself. Because like, is it true that you don't correct elders in Africa? I said, no, that's not true. It's a practice that some idiot slave masters introduced, and it's not good. It's okay. Next day, we went to the school. I said, I want to see Mr. Bakari. Come. Who invented the idea that in Africa they don't correct elders? I said, what do you mean? So my daughter corrected your flawed pronunciation of words, and you said that she's rude. Is that what rudeness is? It's a class, for God's sake. It's a learning environment, meaning you're teaching them, but they can also teach you. You will learn from them. It's an exchange of ideas. The days of I say so, you must. The days of command learning is past. These kids are smarter than all of us. They operate gadgets that we cannot. They access information that we cannot. So if she says you don't pronounce it well, ask her to pronounce it, and then you go to your phone, type that same word on Google and press the speaker button there and pronounce it. So we went through the words that my daughter outlined that it was not pronouncing well. I said, okay, pronounce this word. It was pronouncing it clearly wrongly, right? So I brought the proprietor of the school. I said, okay, sit down. Let's solve this problem. Oh yeah, put this one in your computer. I went with my computer, put the speaker. I said, type the first word, type it, pronounce it. So first off, we line out all the words on the board. The man pronounced all of them. I told my daughter to pronounce it. I told other students in the class to pronounce it. And then everybody's pronunciation was recorded, right? Now, oh yeah, let's go to the right way of pronouncing it. The people will get the word, how they put on there. Then they start pronouncing it. And then the man, I realized that it's wrong. I said, so you're not forcing my kids, yeah, to learn your wrong pronunciation. And then they'll go out there and pronounce, and people will laugh them to scorn, and then they will not have low self-esteem. The one that is bold enough to tell you that your pronunciation is wrong, that you should correct it, or you should say thank you, you are now intimidating her with deity, with elders. Man, don't come out. They don't come out for this. They don't come out the man for the school. I say my own to me and my children, and then they take their matter play. If they did wrong, so I'll be the first to tell them that you're wrong. That you don't try that again. But for this kind of one, what would they pay money for? But not be charity. 1.3 million naira not be beans. As yes, I get headache already for school where they want resuming on the 6th of January. Because they tell me say one thing. No. A digital informer says, Mommy, what I see you say your hair too strong, you too stubborn, then waka pass your side. No, I for like get my water girlfriend. No. You know, back in the day, when they to say Ogbanje girls, na Mami Water daughters. If you see the way they find Ogbanje, that's a talk for another day. We'll talk about that one another. And any girl that's just an Ogbanje girl, I get one girl that's a Fiona. I said the girl now banjo. If you see get yellow, back in the day, if you grew up in Niger Delta, any girl with yellow, like just yellow, not about the bleaching cream on, like yellow, fair girl, the say now banjo be that. Yeah, I find the girl. I say if you they sleep with a banjo, you get the way that they do. I look for all the signs. I don't say anything. We just enjoy ourselves. Reach one place where I cut tire for the relationship. All the my young age, all the girls who I date now yellow girls. I they look for banjo. Not because I like them. I just look for banjo. Oh, I'm a water. I want my water come meet me for night. What are you doing with my daughter? I even deliberately break up with them. Say, okay, my water go verse, come attack me. Atini. When I leave all this thing with religious people think deceive us. You be worried, so you go they shop their food. Yes, now. Somebody could just say they go through full goat for water. I don't understand though. Well, it was good. I was that season of my life was good because shopping good. I make me fall in love with goat too. One of my favorite meat, goat meat. And this love for my say the number 10. I rescued Juve at this young age. It is. You try. I see him to be on his way to the world class. I agree with you on that one. I want to say I know Asia now. Now typical Ujemi food now. If you know the number of songs where I compose when my mom they cook that soup, now the highest with better thick pomo and dry fish. I beg you. Oh, so not be only me they sing. You know, say that is they do meet it today. They are cooking good food. Once the aroma come, I go they sing song where we say I don't even know who compose them. It just so I just say now let me they sing that song. Aisha. If you meet to Sabi cook Aisha, you know shop another food again. And you know all those food, Niger that are food they give constipation. You know, they say overfeeding. My belly walking me. Within 10 minutes, they don't digest because of that okay, or potash. Man, make una for know which I talk. Shodik Pakwayami says, boss, you just talked about what I am experiencing right now. My body activated detoxification 2 days ago. It's been a terrible experience, but I feel better today. People today quick take medicine. My wife will say, flagell. I said, no. Sometimes you they take food. You know that we do not understand our inside the way we understand our outside. We do all these things, we don't take care of the inside. So there is the auto system that say, you know what, Benny, all this burger, all these things, all this oil, all these beans, fish, everything in the shop. So you gotta go before you kill yourself. Your time to die never reach. But no, we need to listen to our body. No, people need to listen to their body, so the body will come do force restart. That force restart, so you have to take it or leave it. To you must to survive, which is very very good. Olufemi Ayatunde says, many job in some of these stadiums. I wish Africa and even Nigeria can come to EPA to learn the sports business. My brother, you see, in some of the forums, why the MPFL club owners forum, why they when I go to talk the thing, they're going to look me like say I be alien. I say, listen, all this one would they blame government? See, government need to try. There are so many sectors where we say fit activate success. Look at what that guy that own AFTV and DRO, all right, those two YouTube channel, what is created with his staff and all that, what is created now create one massive employment for over 20 people, also pay taxes, live their life, traveling a whole lot. I mean, there are people like Jamilu Adilashe, people like Mikolo, people like Emini Truth, people like Joy, people like Teresa Kalijaye, who is getting married today, who's at the registry today, Ibrahim Wale Kalijaye. If we get the kind of numbers that we want and we produce content the way we want, all of these guys will be, everywhere we're going, we'll be traveling. We will create lifestyle, sports, a whole lot. But because of the ecosystem that we have, we're just stunted. I just pray, Sha, like you said, our people can learn and see how these things are done, and then say, oh, we can learn a thing or two from what people are doing, because we're just killing an entire industry, an entire ecosystem without knowing, without realizing it, and we think, oh, we are fine, we're okay. No, it's not. We're not okay. We're actually not okay at all. Okay. The Olawale say Olise na senior man. He can't be compared to Mikel. They are far apart. The distance, distance too far. I think it's in the book of Isaiah where Bible says that as the heavens are far from the earth, so are my ways. No. My ways are not your ways at all. No, you can't put Mikel Obi and sort of. It's travesty. That's like the biggest disrespect that anybody can bring to the game of football, the conversation. Dejabiona say, I don't know, say that school fees headache. Nigeria, oh boy, you did joke. You pay that money finish, and one person can tell you, can't tell your pikin to learn rubbish. That one, I the cost problem. You as a parent, you're like, I they pay this kind of money. You still want to make my pikin them like Mugu. I grew up with friends that I consider very brilliant, but they were raised with too much respect. This bad that you had to greet people. I'm not saying respect is bad. There's no part of this talk where I say respect is bad. I respect my seniors. But thank God for my mom. As tough and as mean as she was, she also raised me to look people in the eye while I talk to them. She also raised me to stand up for myself, fight for what is mine, speak up for myself and for my younger ones. And I also saw her lead by that example. She doesn't take rubbish from anybody. She questions everything. She speak up when she needs to speak up. She stand up when she needs to stand up. She also have respect. And so when I look at my life, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I think that confidence that was instilled in me by my mom have helped me to stand tall and to be different among the nations of men. I'll be damned if I do not transfer that legacy to my children. Okay, because legacy is not the properties or that's inheritance. Legacy is what you put in your children. What they say, the sweetest thing you can ever hear in your lifetime is when your children say, we don't do this type of thing as a family. In our family, we need to do this type of thing. And it comes out in a positive connotation, that you've left a legacy with them. But if your children are so timid, so naive, you don't know what damage you're doing to them. You see all these children where very little thing, people don't bully them, take them aside. It's because you raise them to always fall down for people, to always cow to people's voices that are louder than their own. But if you tell your children that they should be the loudest voice in the room when they need to, underline that word need to, people just would respect them for every reasons. Because there is this thing, when I was growing up, people avoid me because they don't want the consequence of what will come up with trying to mess with me, right? And I think that that's one of those things we need to teach our children. Also, we should also learn to teach our children about business, about investment. I always say that thing. Some of us grew up to 40 years before we even understand the word investment. We've always been consumers. Consume. It's a black man sickness anyway, consumption. We should teach our children pretty early what investment is, the need to prioritize, the ideology that you don't have to buy everything, that you don't need everything, and the ideology that you can be satisfied with your bottled water, but at the same time you can also be satisfied with your pure water. I mean, there's a scripture in the Bible where, of all of Paul's letter, I'm not really a fan of Paul, but of all of Paul's reads in the Bible, he said, I have learned to be abound and to be abased. It's, when you read the Bible, there are some human lessons that you can learn. There is God promises, there is principles, but then that is beautiful. So you can some days go to a hotel, Radisson Blue, to go and eat. You can someday fly first class, but if the road is safe and secure, you can also learn to enjoy a road trip because you want to see the countryside. And you don't put yourself in a place where you think you're suffering, but you say you want to learn. You have to find a reason why you do it. And it's something we'll teach our children. Chidej of us say, the way you infuse storytelling to this show, it don't make me turn addict to. So much fun listening to them because they are so relatable. The concept. So if you follow me from my Brilla days, like I always say to people, was that when I came in, everybody who need to talk football was already talking football. And I ask myself, are you going to take this industry where your voice is terrible, where you don't have a personality? I'm not a tall, big, massive, huge guy. I can't stand that in the crowd. You have to do something different. Okay, so I studied engineering. I mean, I could say that I'm good with Archimedes theory, the theory about Einstein's relativity theory. I really do understand it. You know, there's some subject where they teach you, you just get it instant. You just get it. And so when I came in, I was always saying to myself that, because before I came into Brilla, I used to drive around the city with my girlfriend from Ina back in the day, and my friends, and they don't like football, but I like football. And when I turn the radio on, they always don't feel comfortable. Like, these guys are making noise. This is shit. This is that. So when I came into radio, I said, I'm going to try to be relative to the people that doesn't like football. So I need to find things, stories that you can infuse to the sports. We will still talk the sports. The sports, everybody, the people you're telling the sports stories, they already know the story. They already know the result. So calm down. And so I think that when I tried it for like a month, then I was still going to church. So you know how you go to church, people sit you down, people can take you for 1 hour. And I was single at the time and be talking about the things you said on radio that you said, but back then in Brilla, I was really, really audacious anyway. And there were not too many people doing it the way now. There are a lot of people trying to predict. Before, people are afraid to even predict. So I could say things, some ridiculous things. I could use sex to describe a game. I could use food. I could use Bible analogy. I could use Islamic analogy. I could use country politics, academics, family lives. And I realized that I was building a fan base outside of football, core football people. And that's how it stick. You know how you do something and then you go back and sample the result and see, is this working or it's not working? If should I stop or should I continue? And I think it got good to me. And then I grew up with a storytelling mom and lived with a storytelling uncle. Quite a lot of that in my bloodline. There's a lot of storytellers, and my father's house is the custodian of history in Alaja. Okay, so we're like we're the Deliquays now, we're the royal family. And then my mother's side, they're also the custodian of history in Guinea. So kind of like, I just got the fever of telling stories. I like telling stories. If you look at my content too, it's also telling stories that I've always liked. So thank you very much, Chidi Ejiofor. And finally, for the day, our extra 30 minutes is up. He said, be confident to say your point respectfully. Absolutely. That word, respectfully, is key. So be confident does not mean you go and insult people, go and be talking rubbish, even though some people deserve to be insulted, Sha. Let's be clear about it. Some people, the only way you can stop them in their track is to insult them. So some people are like, you are a fool, you are an idiot for saying this nonsense. Okay? Because again, I do not have the energy to take stupidity and be managing it. Let's sugarcoat it. Let's not offend it. My brother, I go offend you. Well. You can't be fat and then be telling me to call you slim. No, you be stupid fool, fat person. You're a fat person. Stop eating like fool. Come and tell me that it's a body shaming. No, not body shaming. I call you what you be. Because if I slim, you go say I slim. It's not body shaming. Did you ever say be confident to say your point respectfully? The so-called respect with respect now lack of confidence and our culture make Nigeria day where we day. I agree with you 100%. And it's on that note that I call it a wrap on the show today. We'll see again on Monday. I will not be available for tomorrow. I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, flying back to Lagos tomorrow. Go see my kids, go hang out with my kids, and drive my rickety Honda car, Honda City, around the city, have fun. Again, I'm done with Abuja. Abuja is too expensive. You people are VDM and Wiki should enjoy your lifestyle here. This is not for me. My name is Idafe Matthias. You love to come in the Lebanon Sports. It's the Thursday edition of the 12th of December, 12th of 12th, 2024. Sports Buffet, and you stream it live on the Elegbete TV Sports YouTube channel. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please do it to subscribe. I don't know why you're not subscribing. I mean, with all this beautiful story, all this fun, all this excitement that we're having, I don't know why you're not subscribing. And then if you're enjoying it like Chidi Ejiofor, Invite your friends now. Not be so that they do these things. If you find one joint where we say their drink they good, the ambiance is good, you will carry your friends go there. And that's why they be now. Also call your friends to come to subscribe. Just take their phone, give me your phone, give me your phone. Subscribe to this channel. And my friend get on, my guy, I get on. I like the show where they do. You to join us. That's why they be now. If we big now, we go. You don't know tomorrow now. If they employ your brother, your sister, your cousin, or your niece, or your nephew, they send them to go cover World Cup. I'm not gonna go cover every event. So I don't feel they everywhere at the same time, right? One day when we don't reach that place now all those people, if you check me up and say you get somebody we study mass com and we fine, we sabi talk, we get sense. Because not be just to study. I know people study mass com where they get body odor, they not get sense. If you say you get one person and say help me employ her, will I be able to tell you say no? I'll say send and call now. But right now we're not employing, we're even sacking. So beg, we're not sacking. I beg, mona do referral. If na MMM now, I go find people to join because this will not be MMM. Mona try beg. Mona use out my MMM trick. Wanna take get about 70 million Nigeria involved. Mona use that for us. We never need 70 million for now. We just need like 1 million people. Oof. Yeah, we got 1 million. You know, I say Rabbi the end 2 million pounds a year. Yeah. Oh God, my guys, my living. I'm not really thinking. If I think that tonight, but like say I want shopping share this morning. Well, any I shall make I leave. I might go enter town. I want to go FCMB, go collect ATM card. Since all the ones for Lagos not going to give me ATM card, make I go FCMB for First Avenue for this Guarimpa. All right now.